Hi guys, Rachel here. How is everyone? This is weird. I don't know if I'll do this ever again. I just wanted to respond to a tag. I don't even remember what it's called. Tarot A to Z or something like that. I saw it a long time ago before I had a channel or was even commenting, so I always wanted to do it. And the reason you're seeing my face is because I wanted to show off this blazer that I got today when we were shopping. Isn't it cool? Yeah, it was called like Egyptian blazer. It's like this vintage find from a record shop that we went to in Boston. And I was just, I don't know. I just wanted to show it off. I'm such a dork. All right, so yeah, this is weird for me. Like I said, I don't know where to look. Maybe I'll try not to look at the camera too much. So let's just hop right into it. It's called, like I said, the tag is like Tarot A to Z or something like that. All right, age. Should I say my age? Why not? I'm 38. Book, favorite. Okay, that's hard. I cannot choose a favorite book. I tried to very quickly pull from my shelf just a few, and I won't really talk about them because we could be here all day. So I'll start with the obvious one, The Once and Future King, because, you know, if you're a fan of Kermit the Frog, it's not easy being green. Well, it's not easy being king either. What else did I choose? Okay. Ada by Nabokov, or Ada, I'm not sure, actually. I don't remember how you pronounce it. This is, I can't even explain. This is actually, if I were to tell you what this was about, you would be like, ew, gross. It is gross, but it's one of the most beautiful things I ever read, and it's the only book that I ever finished and then immediately went back to page 1 and read the whole thing over again. And I even went and bought and read this dissertation on it. Okay, so yeah, I love Nabokov. There's a bunch I love, and that's the one that I chose. I love Anne Carson. I chose Glass, Irony, and God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wuthering Heights. I have like, I don't know how many copies of this book I have, but I will defend this book to the death. Love Wuthering Heights. I love Tolstoy, and I chose Anna Karenina. Another beautiful book. You probably know that I love Virginia Woolf, so I could say Orlando because I've read this like 3 or 4 times, but I love all of her work, so I would choose this awesome biography on Hermione Lee. It's massive, and it's one of the most inspiring things that I ever read. Highly recommend this by Hermione Lee if you're a fan of Virginia. I love Bukowski, and I chose this collection of poetry. You get so alone at times that it just makes sense. Like the title says it all. Isaiah Berlin, Proper Study of Mankind. Another thing that I read, like, when did I read this? I think when I was pregnant, and so a long time ago. And yeah, it just really, to this day, like, it's applicable. Like, so much of my thinking was affected by what was in this book. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to tell you what it's about. It's an anthology of essays. Proper Study of Mankind. I chose Number 9 Dream by David Mitchell. This is interesting because I'll just tell a little bit of a backstory about this book. I don't remember how old my daughter was. I think she was maybe 7. and we were at this really cool bookstore in Harvard Square, and my daughter picked this up off a table, and she was like, please buy this for me. Like, I'm like, no, like, it's not for little kids. You wouldn't understand. And she just was so insistent. Like, she really, really, really wanted this book, and it wasn't very expensive. It was a used bookstore, so I got it. A few months later, I was going through some really trying times, and I decided to pick this up because on the back it mentions somebody compared it to like a modern take on Ulysses by James Joyce, which I love Ulysses by James Joyce. And I read this, and wow. Like, the only reason I read it was because my daughter told me I had to buy it, and it was exactly what I needed at the time. It's pretty crazy. And did I bring anything else in here to show you? That might be it. I don't know. It's kind of like a hodgepodge. There's so many books that I could have chosen. All right. Career you wanted to be when you were a kid and what it is actually now. So there's so many things, I think. The first thing that comes to mind is an archaeologist. I loved ancient history, mummies. I watched Indiana Jones to death. I also remember saying that I wanted to be a model. And then I quickly decided that no, I don't want to be a model. But it's funny because people would always tell me the way that I poised myself in photos. Like, are you a model? You know, no, that's not for me. I would probably say archaeologist. But for a minute, I thought that I wanted to be a model. Dream. What is my dream? Well, my dream for so many years was to travel all over, and that hasn't happened. I mean, my life choices. But I've accepted that. I've come to terms with that. I mean, yeah, I could still happen, but I've got to get better at saving. I really don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. Essential item. I don't really know how to answer that. It's like you could say, I could say the Thoth deck, or I could choose a book. How do I choose one? I don't know. Essential item. I don't really know how to answer that. So I don't know as I can. I'm sorry. Favorite RWS deck. That is my Albano, and I'll just show it really quick. I think if you've watched my channel before, you've seen me talk about this. This is still weird. I still don't know where I'm supposed to be looking. Like, it's probably going to be really weird looking. All right. Where was I? Gold or silver? I like gold. It's just me. When I was younger, it was always silver. My rings are all silver. I love them both, but I would say gold is more me. It just, I don't know, I kind of like that old look, you know, that old world look. Height, I don't really know how tall I am. I'm 5'7" or 5'8". Ideal day. An ideal day. I love when I've produced something like a creative day, because I feel like those are few and far between nowadays. It just really fulfills me. But I also I really love going to the beach. I don't get to see friends very often at all anymore, but it used to be like when there was a bonfire party planned, because that I'd see everybody that I loved, and we would just dance into all hours of the night, like until 8 in the morning around a campfire, listening to like just the craziest shit, like Russian folk songs and stuff. I swear. I miss that. All right, joke, funniest. I don't know. The only one that comes to mind is this silly, it's a really corny joke, but Okay, let me see if I can remember it really quick. Unless I'm like my mom and she always botches a joke. A rope walks into a bar and the bartender is like, we don't serve your kind here. Get out. And so the rope walks outside and it like messes up its hair and everything. And it walks back in like a rope has hair. That doesn't make any sense. And anyway, it messes itself all up. And the bartender's like, I told you, we don't serve your kind here. And the rope says, I'm afraid not. And it makes me laugh. Anyway, so silly, so dumb. Okay, kids. Yes, I have a daughter. I have one daughter. And yeah, it wasn't planned. She wasn't planned, but I've done everything that I can these past 12 years just to do my job, just to make sure that she's happy and also that she doesn't grow up to be like a little, you know, that's hard. So anyway, living arrangements. I live with my boyfriend. I've a long-term relationship. We live in a house outside of the city, and that's my living arrangement. So Marseille Deck, favorite Marseille Deck, probably Triomphe della Luna. I have the blue one sitting here. I'll just show you a few cards really quick. It's beautiful. Yeah, I know I show this deck all the time, and I love it so much that I have every color variation of this, and I have backups of some of them. So, okay, and I will also show you. Did I bring it in here? Maybe I didn't. Oh wait, it's over here. This one, the Claude Burdel 1751. This was one of my first Marseilles. I think that, you know, for a traditional one, for a facsimile, this is one of the absolute most beautiful. But yeah, I have quite a large collection of Marseille, and I love them all. Yeah. All right. Nicknames. So I don't know if I really have any nicknames. There's all sorts of weird things that we call each other in this house. But I remember years and years ago, I was telling one of my girlfriends, she and my other girlfriend had nicknames for each other. And I was like, I don't have a nickname. Everyone has a nickname, and I don't. And she was like, okay, Rachel, well, let's create one right now. What do you want to be called? And I just randomly said Rice. I want to be called Rice. So I was known as Rice for a while, and I don't know, am I still called that? Okay. But my grandmother, one of my grandmothers always called me Chloe. Chloe was my name. And then my sister was Cleo. That's not a real name, but that's what my grandmother called us. Okay, Oracle. I chose Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and I don't feel like bringing it out because I just wanted to make a quick video. So, and I'm getting really hot, so I just wanted to show you the blazer. I'm such a dork. All right, what do we have next? Passionate about. I don't know. There's so many things that I'm passionate about. I love to read. I love music. Like, love music. I can't do anything without it. If I'm doing something creative, if I'm writing, I need music. I love dance. I love film. I love history. I love philosophy. I don't know. I'm just gonna stop. Okay. Quote. I don't know. For some reason, the one that always comes to mind is April is the Cruelest Month by T.S. Eliot. I don't know. That's what I've got. Let's see. Relationship status. I'm in a relationship. I've been in a relationship for 8 years. Okay, season. I've come to appreciate them all, but I would say summer. Tarot first and last. Okay, so my first tarot deck, I always say that it's the Morgan Greer, and I still think of this as my first, but my very, very first one sits in this little box, and it was from my sister. She came to visit me like well over a decade ago, and she wanted the tarot deck, and I didn't even have one at the time, and she wanted one. She was reading about it in a book, and so I said, why don't I buy you one? And she's like, well, why don't I buy you one too? And I chose this. It was the Harmonious Mini Tarot from Lo Scarabeo, and I did use this for a time, but only for a short spell because it was so tiny. I just couldn't really see, I couldn't really see what was going on. So then very shortly after that, I bought the Morgan Greer, and I searched all over the internet for the perfect deck for myself, and that's what I chose. But yeah, I'd never get rid of this because it was my first and it was a gift. And my newest, I bought, it's not here yet, I bought the Vandenborre, the one by Pablo Robledo. So I'm very excited about that. Let's see, upset. What upsets you most? The first thing that comes to mind is when they cut down trees. There's a lot of things that upset me, but that's the first thing that comes to mind. I was always like that. I remember a few years ago, I was talking to a girlfriend via text, and she was like, how are you today? And I'm like, I'm really sad. I'm like, I've been crying all day. And she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of embarrassed to say because it's kind of silly. And I told her, I was like, the neighbors are cutting down their tree. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of funny, but it's also really sweet. Okay, vlog. Which video are you most proud of, and which is your most popular? I don't know, my most popular, like the one with the most views, I think might be the only 10 mass market decks, which is a great tag. That was fun. But which one am I most proud of? I'm not sure. I had a lot of fun with a recent one that I did, the negative cards in the Thoth deck. Yeah, that was fun for me. Yeah. Weakness. Three-cornered hats. That's what comes to mind. I love a three-cornered hat. I love a man in a three-cornered hat. I don't know. I'm weird. Weakness. Music. Like, and I say that in the context of whenever I'm at a party, which is not very often anymore, and if I'm playing music that I really love, and if I've had a few drinks, I can't stop dancing. Like, I remembered a New Year's party, I danced so much, I ripped my fishnet stockings open, and I'm always embarrassed the next morning because it can get quite theatrical. I've always been a dancer, so weakness. I also, I guess I could say perfume. I stopped with that, but I went through this phase, wasn't good, where I was buying perfume, and they're not cheap, but this one here, Cairo by Penhaligon's, this makes me weak in the knees. So I don't know. Let's see. X-rated. Tell us something naughty you've done. I've done quite a few things, so I don't really want to talk about it, but I could talk about something silly, I suppose. I'm a troll. or I was definitely. Like, when I was in high school, I I recruited one of my friends. Like, her dad had a Xerox machine, and I created these fake flyers for this band that didn't exist, like a garage band or something, and their name was like some weird gibberish word. And we created these, I used this photo of my boyfriend at the time with his friends, and it was a flyer for this concert that was supposed to happen at the park that didn't exist. And we like pasted it all over the school, and I was still doing like just weird things like that in college, just for reaction, just because it was so weird. Like, the name was goofy, it made no sense. It talked about some of their songs, like I think one of the songs was called like I Am Your Leg or something like that. When I was in college, I had all these fake blogs. Does anyone remember Blurty? Like, I used LiveJournal and Blurty, and I had like 30 different fake celebrity blogs, and some of them were characters out of books like The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice, and like the characters from Lord of the Rings. There were classic movie stars like Peter O'Toole, Anthony Hopkins and stuff. And I had all these fake blogs that were just, if you came upon them, like, there's no way you could take it seriously. It was just complete satire. It was just ridiculous sort of humor. But I used to actually, we would, a few of my friends and I, we would go into other people's journals and leave comments, like from like the Vampire Lestat or something, or from Frodo, and we would actually fight in the comments. So I'd be like logging in for each character. It was crazy, and we'd have like these battles in the comments. And yeah, I was a troll. But it was hilarious. Like, some people would come across these blogs and they would get like offended, and other people would tell me that they really looked forward to what I had to write every day because it was so funny. But yeah, I kind of stopped that, or maybe not. Like, I still sometimes do silly things. Like, just the other day, for no reason, I had this like Elon Musk image that I like cut out, and I printed it on our home printer because I knew like my boyfriend had a meeting coming up, and that he would go to the printer and see this and be confused. He hates Elon Musk. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Yesteryear, your favorite year so far, and why? I don't know how to answer that. I'm not sure. I think that everything is all, there's good and bad, and I don't like to think of one year as being my favorite because, yeah. Zen, what do you do to relax, stay calm? Yeah, what comes to mind for me, other than being at the beach, I guess, is I'm probably going to do it in a little bit. After I take a shower, I find it very relaxing. I like to put lotion all over my body, especially my feet. I really love to rub it into my feet, especially if I've been walking all day. And it's so relaxing. You get into bed and yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a lame answer. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.